first photo doesn't look. We only have a couple of minutes. I have a lot of people to acknowledge, so I'm just going to jump right into it. There was a deacon at the Hale Street Baptist Church where I grew up, and he used to get up almost every Sunday and say, "I am glad to be here." There is no better way for me to start this speech than by quoting Deacon Sam Wilson. I will continue by acknowledging several groups. First, those who nominated me for this honor. I believe there were a total of 3 nominations. First, from the late Alice Johnson, who was registrar at Richmond Academy, and who is also a member of this Hall of Fame. Laverne Lewis Gaskins, who is also a member of this Hall of Fame, and Brad Usry. So I thank the 3 of them for thinking enough of me to put my name forward. Next, I also have to thank the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for selecting me for this tremendous honor. Next, the list of my supportive family and friends, those who heard me tell stories of bomb threats. If you were at Richmond Academy in the 80s, you knew about all those bomb threats we used to have. Talked about student council trips, and I also thank those friends and family members who traveled great distances to be here with us tonight. I also want to thank the ARC classes of 1980 and 81. I somehow managed to be a part of both classes, so I appreciate all of you who are here tonight. And then there are my other families. First, the Good Shepherd Baptist Church of Augusta. Next, the Augusta Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Next, my Hornsby subdivision neighbors. And then representatives of Security Federal Bank and a few others who have impacted me in a positive way. If you all will, please indulge me as I travel to the past to reveal a smidgen of what was said in the classrooms that I inhabited prior to the day in August of 1978 when I arrived at 910 Russell Street. It seems from about the 5th grade through the 9th grade, at least once a week at W.S. Hornsby Elementary School and A.R. Johnson Junior High School, a teacher would remind us that soon we would be at Richmond Academy, and that we would have to sit alongside and compete with non-black students. I don't say that to make anyone feel uncomfortable, but to explain what had been drilled into my head before I arrived at ARC. Hence, I arrived with a dogged determination to compete favorably and to prove that I belonged at the hallowed Richmond Academy. Truth be told, I was 50% terrified because I knew that the academic reputation that I had developed over the previous 9 years was at stake. But I was also 50% locked and loaded with no intent on losing that reputation. I am more than grateful for the exposure to so many students from so many social, economic, and geographic backgrounds. In those days, ARC was truly a melting pot. I am equally grateful for the faculty members, starting with a few that I have to call by name. I've already mentioned Registrar Ellis Johnson, who was quite adept at supporting students and pushing us at the same time. There was English teacher Marion Wash, who was the reason I developed enough of an appreciation for English to make it my undergraduate minor. Also, there was trigonometry and calculus teacher Doc Swilly, who mastered the art of breaking complex topics into more easily digestible pieces. There was student council advisor Nettie Ingalls, who guided us through the particulars of student government and how to balance those obligations with our schoolwork. Sociology teacher Mamie Cummings Dunn, who taught that sociology is the study of human interaction, which would be very, very useful as I worked with politicians and oversaw large organizations. There was Peggy Wong, who taught me and many others the tough lessons that you don't always make straight A's. Finally, there was chemistry teacher Ann Streetman Knighton, who always told us not to take any wooden nickels. One day, we asked what that meant, and she said, "Don't let anybody make a fool out of you." So, As I entered a dramatically different environment from where I had been, my parents were every bit as delighted to stand before you as I am right now. My mother was a sugar-coated middle grades teacher and Tiger mom. My father, a sharecropper turned soldier, turned janitor, turned maintenance mechanic and painting contractor. Both clawed and scratched for everything that they had, and they saw the opportunity to attend ARC as a big break for me because of the school's outstanding reputation. My ability to successfully navigate that big break was set up by an extremely difficult decision that my maternal grandparents made in 1942. That was when they scraped together their very meager resources to pay for my mother to live with another family so that she could complete high school. That was necessary because their county provided a high school for Black students, but no bus transportation. So they sent their teenage daughter to live with church members who were within walking distance of the Saluda Rosenwald High School. I, on the other hand, enjoyed the relative luxury of returning to my parents every afternoon, and I was reminded quite frequently by my mother that I had no excuse not to make good of this opportunity. George Nelson Miles, Sophia Young Miles, Milton Allen, Ida Gray Allen, Sophia Miles Allen, and Callaway Allen are not allowed to see this, but I am pleased to inform them that they have been inducted into the ARC Hall of Fame. And all 7 of us are very glad to be here. Thank you so much.